I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to justify, but I mean, like, we gotta put them somewhere.
Yeah. Wisconsin should be top 5.
Wisconsin's rank, I understand where we'll get into why I think it should be different, but I think that they should be higher than where they are. Yes.
Who did they lose? They're only bringing everybody back.
Yeah, or arguably one of the better teams in the Big Ten.
Number 8, Miami. My note: GTFOH played in a weekend ACC and didn't even win it. The fuck out of here.
Yeah, Miami. That's generous.
They benefited from Lamar Jackson setting his sights on the NFL and DeAndre Francois going down with an injury.
Right, but as of right now, the ACC isn't exactly loaded with talent.
Right. Number 9, Penn State. They're tough. My note is maybe too high, maybe too low.
I think
probably right.
I think that one's actually pretty right because I think they still deserve to be in the top 10. But again, like a lot of other teams, there's a question mark on how the season's going to shake out. We don't really know yet.
They're going from the best player in college football to probably having a top 15 running back in college football as their running back. Trace McSorley clearly, and this might just be biased, but in my opinion, clearly...
It is. Before you even finish that sentence out...
What do you think we say?
It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter because it's going to be nonsense. It's going to be highly inflated.
He's the best quarterback in the Big Ten.
Maybe. It's hard to say because I don't know what that kid in Michigan can be.
I don't know. I don't think Michigan's going to be anything. Alex Hornibrook is probably the next best, and there's a big drop-off between Trace McSorley and Alex Hornibrook.
Yeah, well, and also the fairness is there's a lot of quarterbacks in the Big Ten this year that we don't know what they will be. They can set the world on fire for all we know.
Exactly. But
I mean, I was happy with the little, and I mean little, I saw of Haskins last year. He delivered, came through, he could actually complete passes, he was able to scramble, but, you know, that's not enough for me to instill confidence yet.
Exactly. Number 10 was Auburn.
I thought you were going to say the best in NCAA football. I was going to be like, you're lying.
I think Trace McSorley is one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football. I feel like college football lost a lot of great quarterbacks, and Trace McSorley, based solely on the quarterbacks that were lost last season, is by default one of the 5 best. All right, number 10, like I said, Auburn. Is this a joke? Jared Stidham sucks.
Who?
Jared Stidham, the quarterback at Auburn.
Yeah.
Sucks. They lost... Oh, excuse me, sorry. They lost Kerryon Johnson. They've lost a lot on defense. I don't see how Auburn realistically can be number 10. Number 11 is Notre Dame, 12 Michigan State, 13 Stanford, 14 Michigan, 15 USC. So originally number 11 I had for Notre Dame. BS, this team is a joke. Upon further review, I was wrong. Shit.
Well, I mean, I guess. They had a better year than you'd think, but they're still always just so...
annoying.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Their name gets some clout.
And we're going to come to that in just a couple picks, or just a couple spots. Number 12, Michigan State. I like it. I think 12 is a good spot for them.
Yeah, I think they're a strong team. I think they're undervalued in the Big Ten specifically, but they're the 4th Big Ten team on this list, correct?
Yeah.
That's where they should be.
Could they be a couple spots higher? Yes. Could they be?
But they have to prove that first.
Could they be a couple spots lower? Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them go up the ladder as the season goes on.
But 1 to 2 spots, if you ask me. So by averaging it out, 12 is good.
Yeah, fair.
Number 13, Stanford. I think they're ranked too low.
Underwhelming.
They should be top 10.
And they will be a couple weeks into the season. I'm willing to venture to guess.
Like I said, I'm not convinced that they won't be undefeated.
Pac-12 this week.
Number 14, Michigan. Michigan is literally only ranked because of their team name. And I have somewhere. Where did they go? Oh, poop. I have... Oh, it might be in my pocket. Yes. All right. Michigan. They beat Florida, Cincinnati, Air Force, Purdue, Indiana, Rutgers, Minnesota, Maryland. Who did they beat? Steaming pile of trash. They played a bunch of ranked teams, and they lost to all of them.
Listen, you don't have to get pushed too hard to get me to know that, to get on the bandwagon that they're crap.
Suck it, Nate.
Seriously.
Number 15, USC. They lost a ton by losing Sam Darnold and what's his name? Ron Johnson. Ronald Jones. Not Johnson. Yeah. Ronald Jones. They lost a lot, and it's going to be tough for them to come back. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to be as productive. I think they probably should be a little bit lower, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like I said, a bit too high in my notes. Number 16 through 20, TCU, Virginia Tech, Mississippi State, Florida State, West Virginia. Number 16, TCU, by far the best defense in the Big 12, possibly the best offense. I think they're ranked probably where they should be because the Big 12 is also a steaming pile of shit.
By far the best defense in the Big 12. What the fuck does that mean?
It's like saying, I'm by far the tallest kid in the 5th grade. I failed 6 times, but who cares?
Yeah.
Number 17, Virginia Tech. Love it. Very good spot. Perfect. Number 18, Mississippi State. Probably too high. They lost their head coach, and they're not that good of a team. I mean, they came close to beating Alabama, but I'm just not sold. Nick Ferguson, whatever, or Fitzgerald, he's okay. He's not going to lead a team to, being a top 20 team, so that's a bit ridiculous. Florida State, they're ranked solely based on potential, which I hate when that happens. DeAndre Francois needs to come back and play like the Heisman caliber player everyone thought he was last year. And then that leaves us with West Virginia. Will Grier will light up the Big 12, but what is their defense? I don't think they're ranked very well at 20. I think they should be a couple back. I'm just not sold on West Virginia. Let's see. Any thoughts on any of the others so far? So far, not too much controversy.
No, I don't mind that. But once you get out of the top 15, more towards the end, it kind of starts to make more sense. It was actually thought about. In some senses.
All right, so number 21. The comment I have is no fucking way. Take a guess who they have ranked number 21.
I don't remember who it was. I know I looked at the list earlier today.
I will tell you. It's the fucking Texas Longhorns.
Wow. You have an overwhelming hate for Texas for some reason.
Because they suck right now. There's no reason that they should be even close to sniffing the top 25. Listen to their schedule. Teams that they beat. Again, not that impressive. No wins against top 25 teams.
Yeah, they were also the first year in a rebuilding season. Texas needs... Again, this is prestige numbers. This is what happens.
They beat San Jose State. Congratulations. Iowa State, back before they were using that linebacker at quarterback. So before they got good.
I mean, Iowa State was a pretty solid team last year.
After week 4, yeah. Kansas State, we saw that they were hot trash.
Kansas State's always hot trash.
Baylor.
They're not. They're
Howard beat Baylor.
I know, they're a Baylor program. We've already talked about
Kansas, West
Basketball
Virginia,
school.
Missouri.
Yeah, not great wins.
No.
Again, it's the idea that they should be improving, and again, they have the name like Texas.
Exactly. 22, Boise State. They were good last year, but not worthy of this ranking. At least not yet.
I think it's generous just to throw them in as an outlier.
Let me ask you a question. When is the last time a team has been ranked at the end of the previous season, number 7, lost literally no one on offense, 2 players on defense, went undefeated, and got ranked 23rd the next season? I'll give you the answer to that question. It's never fucking happened.
Yeah, but also they've lost their head coach, who arguably could have been the cause of that.
No, that is unacceptable. This team has fucking earned the right to start the season in the top 10.
I do not. First of all, no. Second of all, it should be much higher than 23. You want to tell me top 15? Yes. Top 10? I don't think so. Until they can prove that it wasn't the system that was working for them, I'm not sold.
Let me just say this.
The entire coaching staff left.
By beating Memphis, they beat more ranked teams than Texas and fucking Michigan combined.
Right, but they're also still not in the realm of one of the top 10 schools in the country. Not when you can 100% guarantee me that it wasn't the system, but it was the players. Until I see that, I'm not going to acknowledge that.
So, Oklahoma, completely. Big 12 is all system.
I understand that. I also disagree that Oklahoma's way too high. I think that Oklahoma was fortunate enough to have Baker-Mayfield be able to bail them out of a lot of situations, and they'll probably tumble down the ladder.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
I have no doubt about that. Texas probably won't be in the top 25, but I don't know where Texas is going to be. They could make good steps forward. I still think that they're rebuilding. Michigan, until they can beat someone that's their rival and actually start fighting the big dogs at the top of the Big Ten, then I don't want to hear about you. Just go sit in the back like the rest of the kids. That's my argument on them. But the same thing is that I don't know what we have in UCF. They don't play the hardest teams in the country. Memphis was a generous top 25 team last year.
Generous?
Yes.
Who
does Memphis play?
They beat UCLA, a fucking team that was ranked the entire season.
And undeservedly so, with Josh Rosen throwing that many goddamn interceptions. Again, I don't like the fact that teams are blown based on the name that they have. That's where I have an issue with the top 25. But don't try and compare quality of wins on teams when you're not playing the same quality in and out.
I think
there's a big difference in the teams the UCF plays, and then pick any Big Ten team, with the exception of Rutgers, because they're there to get the shit kicked out.
So, ranked teams that Central Florida beat last season. All right, South Florida, Navy, Memphis twice, Auburn.
Auburn is their biggest win.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Because Memphis, again, teams can get hot against teams that are hot garbage and get ranked in the top 25. We've seen it happen.
Texas.
Right, but they didn't even do that.
No.
Which makes their position more baffling. But to say that they beat a top 25 team, it's like, well, that top 25 team isn't exactly playing the caliber of talent that the rest of the country is dealing with. It's just not. You can't tell me that Southern Florida is playing the same kind of talent that the SEC, Big Ten, or even Pac-12 is dealing with.
No, they're not, because of the conference they're in. But the point being, if we are taking the Associated Press at their word, they're saying these are the 25 best teams.
Again, you're talking about taking the Associated Press at its word. So that right there is a problem. Because you can't take them at their word. There's a bias here pre-built into these people.
That's the problem that I have.
I understand that with you. I think UCF should be in the top 15. I would have put them probably at 13 or 14 to start the year.
Bold prediction, UCF makes the playoff.
Bold prediction, UCF does it.
How's that a bull?